All right. Well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast. And today we're talking about life insurance. I was due, at least according to my wife, to get some more on
Let's
me.
say not check out, okay?
Not check out. And all I wanted was one number. I just wanted it simple. And all of a sudden, there's these terms going along with it. And they're talking about ratings. I'm like, I've never even heard of these ratings thing. Yeah. Teach me. How does this work?
Yeah. So life insurance is complicated.
Okay.
Now, what's not complicated is you pay a premium. It provides a value. You die and someone collects. In fact, my daughter was taught.
My wife collects.
I remember we were at some friend's house several years ago, and we were talking about life insurance, and Kendra's like, Daddy, what's life insurance? And our friend looked at her and said, Kendra, that's when your dad dies and you hit the lottery. So, but anyway, life insurance is complicated. It's really complicated. There's index universal life, there's whole life, there's term, there's all this stuff that's out there. But along with it, Matt, is ratings. And so let's just focus on one piece, which is term insurance. Most people understand it. It's 10 years term, let's say, so you have a premium you pay. Yep. It's for 10 years, and it never increases or decreases. It doesn't build you any cash, and if you don't die, it's gone. Yep. But if you do die, it pays your death benefit, right? Term insurance. Ratings. So smoker, non-smoker. That's the first two things. If you smoke, you're going to pay 2 to 3 times more in premiums than a non-smoker.
2 to 3 times more. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, thank goodness.
So one of the mentors I have that I follow says you should sit down with your new client and ask them if they smoke or not, because it's going to depend on how long their retirement plan is going to go. People die younger when they smoke. It's just reality. So anyway, smoker, non-smoker. Then it gets into the ratings of standard and substandards and super preferred, and every carrier has these different names. Just think of it this way. Okay. You apply for a $100,000 death benefit for 10 years, and you're going to get back on a sheet of paper 5 to 6 different numbers for premiums that you're going to pay, because it depends on your health. Okay. So what we do at iWealth is we quote standard. So I'm just assuming your normal standard rating. Obviously, they have to check your health. They'll go write your doctors. You might even have a paramed come over and do blood and urine sample to give you a rating. And then they come back with an offer. The offer, we hope, comes back as super preferred, because if they're athletes like you, it's going to be super preferred, Matt.
Thank you. I like this. I like this podcast today.
But we hope
I'm an athlete.
You are an athlete. We hope it comes back at a much better rating. So let's say I quote you at a standard at $100 a year for that $100,000 of life insurance. Okay. I hope it comes back at $60 a year, because they rate you really well, like you're in good shape and you're not going to die in the next 10 years, so your premium's super cheap. Sure. What you have to be careful of when you go online to do this yourself, or you're dealing with your life insurance agent, is a lot of life insurance agents want to quote you that $60 premium. They'll quote you super for preferred. Yeah. Because you might be getting a quote from somebody else over here, and they're going to quote you standard. They're going to look better. It's cheaper. And then they come back to you afterwards and say, oh, you came back standard. You're not rated. You're fine, but you're not super preferred, so it's $100 a year, Matt. Mm-hmm. So just understand that not all things are equal when you look at this is how much it's going to cost for a term insurance policy, or any life insurance policy for that matter. Sure. So it's kind of confusing, but it's also kind of important that you just know that it's not all created equal. You have to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, and apples to apples means what kind of policy. Yep. Let's say term in this situation, and then what the rating is, what the class is that you're getting quoted. So it's just a different.
So you mentioned a nurse comes out to the house. Yeah. I want to go down this road because this seems interesting.
Yeah, I just had one. Well, in the last 18 months, I had a paramed. They came to the office, actually. Okay. So depending on what level of life insurance you get, if it's north of $250, probably maybe north of $500. Each company's different. Yeah. They'll write all of them will write your medical records and get them. So you're going to sign a release form and a HIPAA release form. They're going to write Mayo Clinic or wherever you're doctoring at, and they're going to get your medical records, and you're going to answer questions on the application about do you smoke or not smoke, have you had cancer, those type of things. But over a certain level, they want an updated chart on your blood and on urine, and they run that through their samples. And so they pay for it.
Yeah.
But it's really common. Sometimes the last one I had was an EKG. I had to lay down on the couch and they put electrodes on you and they just want to make sure you're not going to die. I mean, they're in the business of making money. So, but we also should insure the stuff that is most valuable to us. And that's a lot of times our spouses. So your house you insure, same thing with life insurance.
As a rule of thumb, all right, do you pay more or less if somebody actually comes out and does this with you?
Neither.
It's just specific to that life insurance provider.
That's right. Remember those ratings we just talked about? They're going to try to give you the best rating they think they can. So if they can give you preferred, they're going to give you preferred. We're going to show you standard and hopefully come back and be a hero to you and say, hey, you got preferred. And my line is always like, congratulations, I think you're going to live a long time. So, but doing the EKG and stuff doesn't change anything. It's just them trying to get a check on you on how long you're going to be around.
Because they're betting on you.
That's right.
Interesting. Yeah. If somebody has more questions about life insurance, talk me through the process.
Yeah, so they can call their life insurance agent. They could give us a call and we can have this conversation with them. Yeah. Because it's complicated. It's not all things are equal. So there's a lot of different variables when it comes to insurance, and you need to figure out somebody that you trust to have this conversation with, and hopefully you have somebody. But if not, give us a call and we can walk you through it.
There you go. I'll see you back here next time.
All right. Thanks.